How's it going, everyone? Justin again. As always, thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. Hope you're enjoying your work week so far. So we got the engine out. We're changing parts over. We're getting ready to re-stab this thing hopefully tomorrow. Waiting for some gaskets. Got to still take some stuff off of the LKQ engine that we had. Really hard to film. I wanted to do this whole video for you guys to show you complete removal, tear down what you didn't have to take out, etc. However, that didn't happen. Music's played in the shop, you know, the third copyright strike stuff, etc., etc. So, be it that it may, hopefully you guys can at least see a little bit about what it is that I got going on. Didn't do any filming on Jeff's truck today. We will try to do that next week. I think you guys saw whatever he had the week before. It's the same stuff, okay? We are going to do an April ProTech catalog video. We'll probably end up doing that sometime tomorrow. That being said, let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. So today's video is brought to you by the Flat Rate Master, aka Michael. We all know that he just lost his job not too long ago. He just posted a video about how or what you should do if you want to try to find a new shop as an automotive technician. I thought he hit on some pretty key points. I thought he left some key points out. I want to kind of touch base on some of that stuff with you guys here today. So let's go ahead and talk about it. All right, networking, okay? He mentioned the tool truck guys. He mentioned staying and keeping close relations with your friends, etc. He mentioned YouTube a little bit, but mostly from his real acquaintances and real friendships that he's occurred throughout his history of working out there and in Georgia, okay? We're gonna talk about what it's like here in California and some things that I've learned along the way and how you can find a job as a technician, even if you're starting from ground zero, because a lot of these things have changed. Before, it used to be really hard to get a job as an automotive technician. Now it's almost so easy that a librarian can come off of sitting down, checking books in and out, and can just jump right into it. It's serious. It's that easy almost. We're going to talk about what you should be thinking about, though, while you're looking for another job. Even if you stepped away from it like I did and decide to step back into it, some things that'll get you a job as an automotive technician a little bit quicker than other things, okay? All right, step one. Networking 101. Yes, absolutely critically important for you to network. Keep the food for thought, keep the word and exposure going around that you're looking for work as an automotive technician by reaching out to past employees that you used to work with or acquaintances and friends that you worked with previous. Keep your relationships with the tool guys that you had in good standing so you can reach out to them as well. These are two areas that he already touched base on. One of those areas, I'm going to say this: you keep your tool trucks close, you keep your automotive technicians closer, okay? What I mean by that is that, look, you try your best to get along with everybody. It's like I tried to tell my daughter during soccer practice, you're not always going to meet somebody that you like right away. You might like them later down the road after so many practices or games. You might dislike them because they didn't pass the ball enough to you or whatever. That's not a good enough reason. Look, you're just starting to develop. You're just starting to learn the nature of the game. And it's the same exact thing when it comes to being an automotive technician or a mechanic, okay? You can't step into your first lube tech job and think that the guys that you're working with as lube techs, that's all they're ever going to be, that's all they're ever going to go, and no one's ever going to move on from there. That is idiotic, to say the least. Most of those lube tech guys are going to branch off into different areas. They may end up going to Ford, they may end up going to Audi, they may end up going to Chrysler, they may end up going to GM. You just never know. I had high school friends that I hadn't seen in over 20 years that worked at GM and Ford, and there was ways for me to reach out to them to see who was hiring when I first moved down in the Southern California region from Oregon, okay? So I actually was able to pick and prawn a few people that I knew of on Facebook that were already in the automotive trade that had an idea of what was going on in the area in which I was moving into, see? So it's not always somebody you work with. Sometimes it's your Facebook pals from guys that you went to high school with way back in the day, and some of those guys ended up turning a wrench for a living. Sometimes it could be a YouTube guy, okay? Look, if I thought about moving out to Tennessee a while back, okay? I had a handful of friends out there in Tennessee, also over in Mississippi. To me, it made sense. If I ever decided to move back east, this would be like an easy way for me to just go from here to there, because at least there I know that I have a place that I could go and work, okay? So your relationships with people via YouTube, via high school, via where you work, okay? Even technicians that I worked with, even lube techs, even my lube techs, I would always be buddy with my lube techs. exchange in contact info, talk to them about certain things. Maybe I'd give them a little homie hookup on something that I was selling or whatever. And I just stayed in close relationships with them. When I took nearly 8 months off from being a technician to try bartending, to try being a deep fry cook and everything else under the sun, even working at Audi for a short period of time, I still always kept good relationships with people. Even my service managers, okay? Things didn't always go according to plan sometimes when I was working with certain service managers, but that doesn't mean that I thought that they were a bad service manager. It just meant that something didn't click within that certain time frame, but I was still their buddy. I was still a guy that I like to talk to them. I like to reach out to them and talk to them every once in a while, see how things are going, shoot the theoretical, you know what I mean? Even same thing with my old foreman and stuff like that. Like I worked at Chrysler for nearly 4 years before I left for Ron's Automotive. Like a year later, he was asking if I was ready to come back. 5 years later, he was asking if I was ready to come back. And at that point, I had decided to go ahead and reach out to him and to take a job. And he wasn't even there anymore. He ended up moving to Florida. But I was able to get a job back at the Chrysler dealership that I was originally at. And then like about a year or two later, now I'm right back at Ron's Automotive again. Why? I have friends. I have people that still work there. I kept close relationships with people that I worked with and continue to work with. Here are some things that I didn't hear mentioned that I think that you should pay attention to. If you're a certified Ford, Dodge, and Chrysler tech, or GM tech, or an Audi tech, your credentials follow with you, okay? Whatever you did at Walmart or whatever you did at Jiffy Lube, yeah, some of that stuff's gonna carry over, some of that's not. ASCs, I said I'd mention ASCs. Some of those things do count for certain establishments, especially if they're trying to get AAA certified. If you have ASCs, AAA wants your shop to carry so many technicians that have ASC certifications. So now ASCs are important, right? If you work at a dealership and you have ASCs and you're certified up to a certain level, level 3, level 4, etc., then you become a master in that one area, and certain dealerships need technicians that are certified at that level with the ASC certification as well in that level, because they're required by corporate to have certain technicians certified through the roof for warranty purposes, okay? So it's not always about who you know, it's also about what you know and what you're certified in. Your certifications, I don't care how many dealerships tell you, you're gonna lose all your certifications in 6 months if you don't find another Ford to work for, or Audi to work for, or Chrysler to work for. Bukkake, okay? That's not true at all. You could be gone for 5 years, come back, and in less than a month, recertify yourself, and all the courses you went to will come back and still count. You don't have to go back through those courses. You don't have to recertify in that. All you gotta do is take the coursework that you missed while you were gone. I'll say that again. All you have to do to get the certifications that you held back under your training jacket is to catch up on the coursework or certifications that you missed that came after you left. That's it. And then you're recertified. Sometimes it could take you a week or two to get recertified, other times maybe a month, depending on how long you were away from that particular dealership from. And that particular dealership might carry over to another dealership, okay? Think about this, Chrysler for instance, right? The Volkswagen Rutan, that's a 3.6 liter, right? Then you got Audi, which carries over a lot of stuff from Volkswagen. In fact, a lot of the Volkswagen platform carries over to things that are over in Audi. So if you have certain Volkswagen certifications, you're probably not gonna have a very difficult time working for Audi. If you have a lot of Ford certifications, a lot of those certifications will be beneficial to a dealership that owns a Chrysler and a Ford store, much like Yucca Valley had for a while, see? Now you're certified in both. You can get certified in both and work at both, and those certifications, again, will stay with you throughout the decades or throughout the years, so don't be afraid of that. ASC certifications are important up to a certain point, and then they're not, right? They're not to a certain extent. You do not need to have your ASC certifications to get your foot in the door. You don't need to have any Chrysler training or Ford training or anything else to get your foot in the door. If you spent at least 2 years at a lube shop, you've at least spent enough time to be able to get ASC certified. And then that is a good amount of time at a certain establishment for you to be likable enough on paperwork, or you've had federal and state taxes removed from your check to specifically be a lube technician. Now you are more interesting to the interviewer, right? To the person that's getting ready to hire you. A lot of guys want to step in there and go, why? Change the engine oil on my mom's car and help my buddy and with a valve cover gasket job. I seen it on the YouTube and wasn't too hard. And I had this, small 3/8 and 1/4 inch set that I got from the Harbor of the Freight. And I just seen he just used a little RTV. Didn't look too hard. Didn't use a torque spec, but didn't leak. So I think I'd do pretty all right. That's not enough. Okay, it's not enough. I'm sorry. And if you miss the opportunity, you see some of these establishments, some of these dealerships, some of these mom and pop shops, they're not going to reach out to you first. In order for you to prove how interested you are in being an automotive technician, you always want to be the one that reaches out to them as a follow-up. And follow up with them a lot sooner than later. Don't wait. I filled out an application. I walk in, hey, how's it going? Name's Justin Dowes. Just stopping by to see if you're looking for a mechanic for hire. What did you do? No, I used to pull engines, transmissions, cylinder heads, etc. Most of my work has been geared towards, R&R and heavy line. Dabbled with electronics, dabbled with diagnostics, just never really was 100% into it. But, overall, my skill set falls under R&R and heavy line. Okay, great. Well, here's an application. Take it, fill it out, bring it back, and we'll see if we can set you up for an interview. Perfect. Sounds good. Go get lunch, fill it out while you're eating lunch, head on back. Hey, how's it going? Stopped in a little bit ago. Oh, yeah, I remember. Okay, hey, great. Hey, look, filled out the application. Here you go. And here's a resume. A resume is a nice follow-up because outside of putting down what you did on their application, and most of them are on the internet nowadays, especially if you're looking for a dealership, but for a mom and pop shop, most of them, surprisingly not, they're still on paper. So if you're going to apply for mom and pop shop, plan on filling out a paper application. If you're planning on working for a dealership, planning on doing everything online. What does that mean for you for this video? If you're planning on working for a dealership, go to their website first, look for career opportunities, fill out the application, upload your resume prior to even stepping foot on campus, and then go in, say your name, tell them that you already filled out an application, submitted your resume. If you're looking for mom and pop shop or an independent shop, go in and ask and see what they're looking for. Maybe they're looking for you, maybe it's a paper application. Okay, I'd be surprised to hear about independent shops that have an online account where they want you to fill it out online. Some of them use ZipRecruiter, some of them use, a local job search or whatever. I've seen it all. Okay, I've seen the usajobs.com if you're trying to get on post. You have to go and figure out what this establishment is looking for and what their application process is. But I guarantee if you're looking for a dealership, 9 times out of 10, they already have a website, they already have a link, they already have some way of you being able to upload your resume. Make your resume a little bit more distinguishable, okay? Don't just say I changed my mom and dad's oil and I hadn't screwed it up and everything is good and life is peachy and they recommend me through the roof. Boom. Okay? When I was first getting hired at Sears Auto Center, I might have fandangoed my application a little bit, okay? My mom's boyfriend at the time, told me, you've done a lot of things with your truck, you've done a lot of things with your mom's vehicle, you've done a lot of things for close friends and stuff throughout the entire summer. This is what you do. So I started listing out all the different things that I did for everybody. I had them write personal letters letting them know what I did, letting them know that the repair was a fixed first visit, so to speak. Brought it in and said, look, I'm not 100% knowledgeable. I'm going to college right now. I haven't been doing this for long. Here's my motivation. Here's what I've been doing for the entire summer. Here are some points of contact for you to get a hold of them, and they can talk to you one-on-one about what it was that I repaired on their vehicle. So it wasn't a complete forge, okay? I actually did do the work, but I had these people all do this for me. I went out on my way. I did the work. I had them all be my little personal recruiters. Like, hey, talk about it. Give them the honest opinion. And they did. And it worked out well for me. So, yes, keep your tool trucks close. See what they got going on. Who's hiring, who's not. They may not know. They may not have a clue. They may not have heard a whisper throughout the entire grapevine. But there's a good chance that your buddies that are lube techs or former techs or people that you haven't seen in a couple years that you bump into, maybe they know somebody. And aside from that, it's also about what you know. And don't forget, even if you were certified at one point, you're still a certifiable badass on paperwork. They're going to want to hire you because they need somebody like you. So if you want to take a break, take a break. Don't feel bad about taking a break. Maybe you'll learn something about yourself in the process. That's all I got for this video. Go check out Flat Rate Master, the Michael. Okay, he's a good dude. You'll like his content. Let's give him some support. I'll see you guys next video. Cheers. Deuces.